We're back to Prime News on HLN. Now, for the first time, we're hearing the voice of the woman accused of killing little Sandra Cantu. It is chilling to hear. Murder suspect Melissa Huckabee spoke to a reporter at KPIX TV in San Francisco. This is around the time police found a suitcase with the 8-year-old's body inside. Huckabee talks about that suitcase. Give it a listen.
Sandra was my daughter's best friend. The police have not disclosed any information as to whether or not it is my suitcase. I know they are in the process of getting pictures of suitcases so that I can let them know whether or not this specific suitcase is mine.
Again, I told you it was chilling to hear her voice. Joining us to talk about this on the phone, Jennifer Wadsworth, reporter for the Tracy Press in California. She also talked to Huckabee before she was arrested. 40-minute conversation. We'll talk about that in a sec. Also back with John Lusich, our former criminal investigator. We'll take your calls as well at 1-877-TEL-HLN. All right, Jennifer, it is just so eerie to hear her voice. She sounds so matter-of-fact there. How was she, again, take us back. You had the 40-minute conversation with her. Was she like that, where you weren't suspecting anything?
Yeah, exactly. She sounded just like that, very matter-of-fact, very calm, and I was just asking her about the suitcase. And, you know, her story to me was a little bit different. She told me that it was her suitcase, and she described it to me, and, you know, police wouldn't confirm whether it was the same suitcase Sandra's body was in because they weren't making any comments at the time, but Melissa told me it was her suitcase.
So that was, and to backtrack even further, Jennifer, that was the inconsistency there, part of it that made Tracy police take note of your conversation, really tipped things off, right?
Right, it quickened the investigation. I mean, police already had their eye on her. They were already watching her, pretty much her every move, and they were keeping quiet just so that she wouldn't know that they were keeping such a close eye on her. But what happened was when my article came out and the other reporters started calling her, the spotlight was sort of focused on Melissa, and that's when police realized they had to do something.
John, as you hear that voice, again, she sounds coherent. You know, she sounds like she knows right from wrong. Does hearing that really take apart any kind of insanity plea down the road?
No, I don't think so. I think that when it comes down to it, they're going to take a look at the facts of the case, that what she's done and how she did it, and the fact that it may not be her first time. I'm very disturbed to find out that this woman is now suspected in this girl back in, I think it was January 17th, right, when she was returned with muscle relaxants. How that happened and nobody was arrested is beyond my understanding. I mean, and I know we're at a he said, she said, and we don't know who is telling the truth right now, but I really think that someone outside this agency has to take a look at that particular incident, because if it's the way I think it might have gone down, that little girl's life could have been saved if this arrest was made early on.
Let's get everybody on the same page. Because the mom, this is a 7-year-old girl who I guess was a friend, and Jennifer, you can help me out here, is a friend of Sandra's, and right, Melissa Huckabee took this girl, you know, like John said, it's kind of a he said, she said, but had her for 4 hours, took her to what, 2 or 3 different parks, and she came back, seemed drugged on a muscle relaxer. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's a story that police records and the girl's mom have told us.
So why wasn't it fully investigated at that time?
I guess they couldn't find enough, well, you know, police, of course, with the gag order, so they can't really talk about it. Right. It's wrapped up in the current investigation, but evidently police found no probable cause. Okay.
John, as you hear this, and obviously we look back at it, hindsight's 20/20,
absolutely,
and we go, red flag. But let's just take a look at that incident. Should that have been investigated further? Because I know one issue was so much time had elapsed. Like 5 hours from the time she was brought home until the time they figured, gosh, she's drugged, we got to get her to the hospital.
Right, but still, once they got to the hospital and they found out that she had drugs in her system, they should have followed up on that immediately to find out, okay, was this the mother who did it? Was it somebody else who did it? Because if it's the mother, then they need to prosecute that mother also, unless she's got a prescription for these drugs. So the fact that nothing was done, you know, and from the reports that I've read in the news so far, and they could be wrong also.
Okay, guys, John, we got to take a quick break. We'll pick up in just a moment. Stay with us.
They say imports always get the best mileage. Well,